following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Well, who's building an ark? I'm telling you, we have got so much rain in Middle Tennessee right now. I gave up the ghost. I'm wearing my work boots that I got, my $14 work boots from Tractor Supply, and they're my go-to. It is so nasty out. I hope that you guys are safe wherever you are. And if you have to drive, do be careful. Hopefully that rain gets out of here. Steve Burney joins us. Good soaking Thursday, everyone. Isn't that the truth, Steve? It's just crazy out there. Tonight, we have a really important show, though. It's going to be in Lebanon at the Capitol Theater. ACureForOurFriends.org is the website to get information or to just give, helping families all over the country with their day-to-day needs when it comes to dealing with cystic fibrosis within a family. We talked to Greg McDougall yesterday, and a very powerful interview. 3 out of his 4 children were diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, and that's the reason he got involved, because they've been such a help to him and his family. He did lose his son, Sean. He and his wife, Diane, lost Sean. Their family lost him, but they spend their lives now helping this cause and helping other families get through what they do. And tonight, Rockland Road will be part of it. And coming up on this show, we're going to talk to Dave Kaufman of EdgeCon. If ever there needed a rescue for small business, it is now. And they've got a conference coming March 11 and 12. I can save you $100 on going, but trust me, it will have all the spirit vitamins you need to keep going. Ukraine. Let's just take a moment to talk about what's going on around our world now. We're very precarious, and there's some beautiful people in Ukraine. Janet Ivy Dunsing posted on her Facebook today something really important about all the reasons why Ukraine was so important. Number one is the people. And we're going to play some songs from a young lady who lives in Hendersonville, but she's of Ukrainian heritage. And a few years back, she wanted to shine the light on her heritage. So she put together a collection of Ukrainian folk songs. And one was it just hits my heart so strongly. So we're going to hear from Sonia Lee. She and her husband, Chris, and their 2 boys live in Hendersonville. I think that's where they live now. Anyway, and Chris is a gym owner in Hendersonville. And what else is on our show? I don't know. We're just going to kick things off with Rockland Road, since they're going to be on stage tonight with me, with Chris Golden, Marty Rabin, and of course, Greg McDougall and his beautiful family. We're going to be at the Capitol Theater tonight, Lord willing, and the creek already rose, but we're going to be there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise, remove your hats to honor America.
Please make welcome Rockland Road.
So good. What's the matter with the feeling when you're feeling and it feels like this? The sun is hanging on the blue sky, ceiling, and it just won't just the day I'm here with the ones that you wanna be with.
Oh, what night, late December back in '63,
And there's a road facing up, like the one you wish. Caroline, yeah, we had a time, and I hope you're somewhere and you're laughing in your day.
Hoffman debut with a standing ovation here at the Grand Opry House. Rockland Road.
Have got something exciting coming to Nashville. 2022 is going to be a game changer. Take a look.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
I'm so excited. The brain that came up with EdgeCon, Dave Kaufman, DaveKaufmanSpeaks.com. We are having a conference, a Kingdom Business Conference, the top Kingdom Business Conference in the whole country, right here in Nashville, March 11th and 12th.
Yes, absolutely. It's the most transformative Kingdom Business Conference in the USA. I promise that, because we've done it for 4 years, and that's what people are saying about this very conference. Thank you so much, Devin, for having me on.
I'm really interested in what a Kingdom Business Conference is. I want you to explain to people, because we have a lot of small business and entrepreneurial types who listen and watch this show. Yeah. We love to include and inspire them to keep doing more. But you've taken, I always say, like in 12 steps, the 13th is Jesus. Yeah. Let's talk about when it comes to business.
Yeah, so I believe that business is a great idea because business is a God idea. And so if you look at Matthew 25, it's the story about the parable of the 10 talents and the 5 talents and the 1 talent. God is radical, I believe, about growth. He demands it. And so the whole thing is about expanding his kingdom with our assignment. So I believe God gave you a business, he gave you a family, he gave you a community, a church, responsibilities that God gave you, and he wants us to expand it for him, not for us. It's about seeking first his kingdom, not mine. And so those principles are just infiltrated with the whole program that we put together. Every one of our speakers are kingdom speakers, and they're about building the kingdom first, using your business to honor and glorify God first. That's
so important. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I bet I had to jump in there with you, because when we carry the brand, as it were, of a Christian, but we don't do business with Christian principles, it destroys our testimony altogether. It doesn't matter where you are on Sunday, where you are Monday through Saturday really makes a difference, doesn't it?
Exactly. It really depends on what we say and what we walk. Okay, so if those two things are different, for instance, okay, do this. You know what this sign is? This is the sign for everything's okay. Hold it up high and proud. Go ahead, do it right now for me. Put it right here on your chin. That's your chin. Right? And so my point is, when we as business leaders say one thing and then do another, we're sending mixed messages. And it's so important that we do and walk the walk that God has called us to, even in our business. And when we have that mixed messages, we're not seeking first the kingdom of God.
Wow. That's a brilliant way to put that. And what an illustration. And it's like kids do what we do. They don't necessarily do what we say.
Exactly.
That's been an adage for a long time. Let's talk about, I tell you, one of the speakers that I'm really excited about, I have a rescue ranch for senior equines, and you have got a horse whisperer that's going to be joining us.
Yes, Dr. Lou Starrett has been, I think this is the third time that he's been at EdgeCon. Dr. Lou's a wonderful friend of mine. Listen, I've seen him take a horse. Now, he's not going to have a horse at EdgeCon. I wish we could, but we can't bring a horse inside a hotel. But I've seen him take a horse that 2 days before that was in the plains of Montana, a wild Mustang. And in an hour and a half, he's on that horse's back, and the horse never bucked him or tried to buck him. And all the while, he is teaching leadership principles. He's basically preaching a sermon while he's training this horse. And you see yourself, you see who you are. And you know, he's God in the analogy of how we relate to God, and we see business owners to employees in his analogy. He's one of the most sought after EdgeCon speakers in my community, because it's transformative. You see the transformation in his program, and when you apply those principles, you'll see the transformation in your employees, in your community that you're leading. So
there's another person. I don't know if anybody's ever been laid over in an airport somewhere, and the smell of Auntie Anne's her booth pulls you in with aromatherapy that's better than anything you can buy in a little bottle. I'm going to tell you, it really is amazing. She's going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Auntie Anne's Pretzels, the founder, the person behind the Auntie Anne's Pretzels. And recently I was at an event where she was speaking, and I got to just tell you this story. This is how God connects people that are meant to be together. So I was at an event. I never met her. And so as I walked past her, so you have to understand, she was born Amish. Yeah. And I was born Amish. Yeah.
Well, with a name like Kaufman, I get that.
That's
you know, I narrated a book series, the Amish book bakery series, and there was the Kaufman family that was all about them. Yeah. Exactly. So, okay. Gotcha.
So as she walks by, I say, "Kannst du Deutsch schwätzen? Can you speak Dutch?" And she looked at me. She was like, "Oh my goodness." And this is what's so crazy. Her assistant was behind her, and she looks at me and she says, "Are you Kaufman?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Are you Keith Kaufman?" "No, that's my cousin." She knew my cousin because my cousin Keith lives in Austin. That's where they're based at right now. And she thought we looked alike, which we don't, but she saw that connection. And right there, we made that connection with Auntie Anne and her assistant. And that's just how small the world is. And that's how God brings people together. And so when we started this relationship, getting to know each other, and when I put this conference on, I said, you know what? By the way, the whole conference is all about reviving. It wants us to thrive. If I ask business owners or Christians this question, is God a God of abundance or a God of lack? What do you think they say?
Well, they better say abundance.
Exactly. There is no lack with God. And so God wants us to thrive in our life, in our business, in our marriage, in our relationships. And so this whole conference is designed to help you thrive God's way.
I believe in that so strongly. I believe in that so strongly, you know, because until we can create that abundance, we can't be abundantly giving to everybody we know. I mean, it frees us up by so much. And that's what small business needs right now. That's what entrepreneurs need right now.
Yeah.
March 11th and 12th. Let's tell people how they can get their tickets. And I'm going to show how they can save some money, because I know we can save money because we got it to save. Isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. And listen, there is no price too expensive to pay to be here. Like, you need to be here because the quality speakers that I'm bringing in, like, it's world class. It is world class speakers. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other speakers, but go to EdgeConUSA.com. EdgeConUSA.com. You got it down on the bottom.
Yeah.
And I've decided to give you the right to, like, be the hero to your people. And if your people use the code Devon's Edge, just like it is right there, it doesn't have to be all caps. It can be, it doesn't matter. Just Devon's Edge. You're going to get, do you want to say how much off of the ticket?
$100.
$100 off. Listen, I'm not trying to make money at this event. If I do, that's great. But here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live out my life purpose. And at age 13, I have to tell you, I went to my dad, age 13, and I go to my dad and I said, Dad, I feel like there's something I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm called for something. And he said, are you going to be a preacher? And I said, I hope not. I didn't want to be a preacher. And he said, well, what do you feel? What do you think? And I said, listen, I just feel like there's a group of people going this way, and my job is to help them shift to go this way. That's why I started EdgeCon, is to start a national and then an international movement to get people to shift their mindset. If you want to change, you have to change the way you first think, the way you process things. And so this is about changing lives. It's about helping people be successful. So the $100 is irrelevant. I just want to make it easy for you to come into an environment to where change can happen. Listen, change isn't exciting. It is actually. It's not comfortable.
No, it scares me to death. I mean, I will tell you, but I have watched the whole program as it starts to lay out. I want to get everybody to follow EdgeCon on Facebook, because there's new stuff being added every day. There's new speakers that you can, find out more. We're going to talk to you again next week, Dave, and we'll cover some more of the speakers next week, and maybe even have some of the speakers that are on the show with us.
Absolutely.
EdgeConUSA.com. The code is Devon's Edge to save a little money. And I'm always about saving y'all a little money. But like Dave said, investing in a small business, I do training every week somewhere, somehow, virtually or in person. Next week I'm going to be doing one as well. I'm going to be doing a show somewhere where I can listen to entrepreneurs. And I get excited about that. We need to lift each other up, because right now we've had a few years of everybody feeling pushed down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, I've dedicated my life to lifting people up to their level of success. And I'm a national and international business coach. I own several companies. I'm handpicked by the Zig Ziglar family to carry on the legacy of the late, great Zig Ziglar. And also one of 10 in the world master trainers in the DISC model of human behavior. And I'm going to be talking about that at EdgeCon. How can you thrive in your relationships? How can you thrive not only in your business relationship, but in your marriage, in your relationships with your children, with your pastors, whoever? Wherever there's two people, relationships happen, and it's all about thriving. And I'm just so excited, as you can probably tell, about EdgeCon. I can't wait.
Well, I can't wait either. Again, it's March 11 and 12. And where's it going to be in Nashville?
It's going to be at the Sun Esta. It's Sun Esta Hotel. Okay.
I'm from Louisiana, and so if y'all know, down in the quarter, they got the Sonesta Hotel. It's that same thing. I passed it the other day, and I almost ran off the road. I went, oh, the Sonesta is here. It is.
Yeah, it's going to be there. Listen, we have room blocks off for you. The deadline. What is today? Friday. The deadline is today, actually, but I got them to extend it a little bit to get a special rate on the room. So when you book your tickets, use your code Devin's Edge to get $100 off, and then go. It's on all the website. Call them, click the link, get your room, because we want you to stay at the same time. All the speakers are going to stay there. And here's something really cool. At my events, all of my speakers are going to be 100% accessible to you throughout the program. In fact, their tables are going to be inside the main conference room. So if you like what they say, go over to their table, take a picture with them. It's none of this whisking away behind curtains and you don't see them again. Okay?
Oh, that's brilliant.
I'm telling you, it's the most transformative Kingdom business conference that you'll ever attend to, because speakers are accessible. But what I was going to say, we have a special rate to get your room. So use that code, Devin's Edge, to get your $100 off. But then mention EdgeCon, and they'll give you a discounted rate on the room itself.
And in Nashville, we all know every discount you can get it. And I'm just excited to be a part of this. This is wonderful. EdgeCon USA. And here's the thing, that Dave, what y'all don't know is that I emailed him because I saw on Facebook that it was coming, that EdgeCon was coming. So I emailed you on a Sunday afternoon after church. And I mean, instantly you were back with me and said, let's talk about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not your service after the sale kind of a guy. You're there and you want people to really engage and network.
Yeah. Our
network, especially when it is Kingdom Network, goes a long way. So thank you for your time today, Dave. I really appreciate you.
It's absolutely my pleasure to be here. And thanks for reaching out to me.
Oh, and everybody, edgeconusa.com, code Devin's Edge, save $100. And don't forget, discounted rooms at the Sonesta in Nashville, March 11 and 12. Thank you so much, Dave.
Healing from substance abuse can be a lonely journey, but you don't have to do it all on your own. At Brooks Healing Center, you matter. We're here to lend you love, support, and acceptance on your journey to find yourself again. With medical detox, residential, and partial hospitalization program levels of care, we help you overcome addiction, trauma, and adverse childhood experiences through personalized healing journeys. Our seasoned team of heart-centered staff is here for you with support, compassion, and hope. At Brooks Healing Center, we'll love you until you fall in love with everything you are.
I never realized the country of Ukraine was so important until I met Sonia Lee. Sonia Lee is of Ukrainian heritage, and she did a collection of folk songs that told the story of martyrs and people that have fought for freedom. As long as this little area has been trying to exist, they believe in democracy. It is a Christian country. They believe in the same things that we do, and these people are under siege right now. And no matter what your political leanings are, I just don't care about politics. What I care about is people. And when I heard this collection of beautiful songs by Sonia Lee, I heard the voice of those people, even though I did not understand the words. And I want to share this beautiful music with you right now. She lives in Hendersonville. She and her husband, Chris, are there. And she's traveled around and done a lot of things to uplift the Ukrainian heritage. And it's just the most beautiful music and some of the saddest songs. This particular one is called Ivanku, and it's a story about Johnny. And Johnny was a martyr, but I don't know the whole story, but you can feel it as you listen. Here's Sonia Lee.
Ivanku, Ivanku, kupi merumianku, kupi merumianku, bim siarumyanela, yapidu totanku, bim siarumyanela, yapidu totanku. Umoho Ivanka, zaszapko kosycia, zaszapko kosycia. To divinadide, jakside sirmicia. To divinadide, jakside sirmicia. Temna nička, temna, do samoranku, Ljubila taj budu ja tebe, Ivanku. Ljubila taj budu ja tebe, Ivanku.
Isn't that great? I have loved that CD. She did it a few years back, but it is so good, and I encourage you to go find. SoniaLee.net is her website, but you can find her music anywhere you download music. I just wanted to tell you a few things now. Janet Ivey, you know her from Janet's Planet. She posted today some of the important things about Ukraine that we should know. They're the #1 producer in the world of sunflower and sunflower oil. They are the 3rd largest producer and exporter of corn in the world, and the 16th place in cheese, 9th place producing chicken eggs, 8th place in wheat. In other words, if you put it all together, there's a ton of things about their food production. They meet the food needs of 600 million people. And it's an important place. And so our prayers over Ukraine now, just such a beautiful, beautiful song. And their music is beautiful. Their art is beautiful. And prayers over people. That's what we think about. And it's not about politics. It's about people. I hope that you're going to have a wonderful rest of your day. The weather is going to move on out of here. It looks like later on this evening, and we're going to have a dry week ahead of us, as far as I can see. It's going to be a pretty decent week. I always say, we had some beautiful weather this weekend, and we get punished for it in Tennessee. You have a couple of good days, and it's like, oh my Lord, it's going to rain for a week. But it's okay. You know what? It's just getting the ground ready for the springtime. just getting ready for the planting and the new things. Tomorrow, we're going to have some really, really fun things. It's going to be Farming Friday. So we're going to talk a little bit about planting and a little bit about some of the farms that are around here. We're going to talk to Brooks Healing Center's Josh with a Miracle on Main Street. It's a new segment that we're going to be having. But I wanted to close. It's Throwback Thursday. And I talked to someone last night and they said, there's no good music in country music anymore. There's no more. And I said, what are you talking about? There's some great new music out there, some really fantastic new music. And they said, well, I don't know. I've never heard it. Well, I want to introduce you to a new guy who has a throwback sound. His name is Bubba Bellin. His real name is Alex, but everybody calls him Bubba. He's from Texas. He is a steel guitar player on a ton of sessions, and he's just fantastic. And we're going to shine the light on him for a second. This is one of my favorite songs of his. It's called Timberline. It's just him playing acoustically with his fiddle player. It's very, very Texas, very, very cowboy, very, very Western. So if you're part of that scene and you like it as much as I do, just give it a listen to Bubba Bellin, and it's called Timberline.
One, two, three, four. Snaking up the mountain, this buckskin horse and me. First snow of autumn hanging in the air. I walk down to the river, fill up my old canteen. I see the trout still among the rapids. My past is catching up to me, no longer can I hide. It haunts me day and night. So I go high above the timberline, above the timberline. The ghosts that always trail me get lost among the pines. I go high above the timberline. I think about my woman, our little family, a different world in west of nowhere, Texas. I left them on a Thursday when I caught her in the act. I caught my horse and loaded up the trailer. I headed for the mountains, I had no other plan. But I knew by morning light I'd be high above the timberline, high above the timberline. The ghosts that always trail me get lost among the pines. I go high above the timberline. I've been drifting through the western range for almost 30 years, packing mules and moving with the seasons. I wonder what she told him when he got big enough to hear. The words she said could only bring more questions. I long ago forgave her, but I can't forgive myself. It haunts me day and night. So I go high above above the timber line. The ghosts that always trail me get lost among the pines. I go high above the timber line. The ghosts that always trail me get lost among the pines. I go high above the timber line.
Isn't that great? There's something about his voice. I agree with you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth checking in today, Joe Lesh checking in, and of course, Steve Burney, and all of our friends who stop by and say hi, wherever you are, even if you watch on the replay, put your name down there and put a little hashtag replay. We hope that you'll subscribe wherever you're watching. Main Street is the provider of local news in your community, whether it's our newspapers, our websites, or all of our Facebook pages. If there's something going on in your local area, we try to make sure that we cover it. We have a 5-day-a-week digital paper that covers the entire mid-state, and that is Main Street Nashville. Wherever you're watching this, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, be sure to click a like. And if you can follow and hit the bell and subscribe, we hope that you'll do that. And spread the word. Tell people that you listen and you watch Main Street today. And we just love, you know what, 8 or 9 listeners. We're just grateful that you're here. We're just grateful that you're here. And we're grateful that you spread the word about positive news from Mornings on Main Street with Joe Dubin in the morning to me, and then our sports in the afternoon with Main Street Preps and all the stuff that we do. I'm glad that we can tell the stories of Middle Tennessee. You guys have a blessed, beautiful rest of your day. Be safe out in this weather. Be kind to each other, because that's what we need. And remember, most of all, you are loved. And don't forget, Murfreesboro Heart Association has the Heart Ball coming up in March, and tickets are available right now. This is Heart Month. And protect your hearts, because they're the best part about us as human beings. Have a great rest of your day.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like it's silent Sunday summer. Together, on my front porch with my friends. Together with who's ever there, standing next to me. Yeah, together is my favorite place to be.